Hello, benchwarmers.
Damn.
That was a new one.
Yo, Marco's reaction was funny.
Hello, benchwarmers, and everyone out there listening or watching on YouTube. Let's start it off by saying, Gat, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Marco, how are you?
Considering, that's good.
I'm excellent, bro. I'm tired, sleepy. But overall, it was one hell of a weekend, that's for sure.
Amen.
Oh, swear, how are you?
I'm chilling. Day off from work every Wednesday. A little tired, but I'm chilling. How are you, Nick?
Very good. Like I said to Gat, very good. Very good. No, yeah, man. Life. But we moved, though. So, pretty big game last weekend, or this weekend prior. Liverpool Football Club against Real Madrid Club de Football in Stade de France, Saint-Denis, Paris. Obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan. I was very disappointed. But I am surrounded by 3 Real Madrid fans here, winning their 14th Champions League title.
Two
European
and a
Cup.
confused person. Let's get it straight. 2 and a confused person.
Yeah.
The confused one is
Oh, yeah. All right. I get it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I just want to say something. Being a Man United fan and a Real Madrid fan,
And
come on.
Atletico fan.
And Atletico fan.
Okay, no, that's just for the jersey. Relax. I was a Madrid fan. I was a Real Madrid fan first.
Come on, like you're supporting 2 of the biggest clubs in the world. Like it's Real Madrid and then it's Barca and Man United. You gotta choose one.
Two separate leagues.
Nah, man. Either way, though, Gat's still a Real Madrid fan. So, yeah. Fuck it. Let's go into it. So, who was Gat? Were you here for the preview last Wednesday? No, right?
Last Wednesday, no.
No.
Was Dyer here? Dyer, were you here?
With you guys, yeah.
Yeah, it was just us 3.
Over at Eric's.
What was it? Did we do
Oh, you're
that?
right. Yeah. All right, so
We were
guys,
all
since you
over
weren't here,
Eric's.
Oh, that's right.
Since you
That's right.
weren't
Yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah, since you weren't here, you were having a lovely vacation, out in the Atlantic Ocean. What were your thoughts building up to the game?
I thought they couldn't possibly do it again, can they? That was my thought. It was just this Liverpool team going into this game was just there's just no way that anyone should have beaten them. So it was nerve-wracking.
I'm very sorry, everyone, and I'm very sorry to Marco for not saying this. You can follow us on all social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok at Benchwarmers FC1. You can also watch us on YouTube, Benchwarmers FC TV, and you can listen to us on all podcast platforms at Benchwarmers FC. If you want to email us, bench@benchwarmersfc.com. Now, we resume. So, apparently there was some trouble before the game actually started. The game was delayed 30 minutes, 8:30 p.m. In France. From what I saw, apparently local fans. So I think Thierry Henry after the game, or before, I think it was before the game, he said Saint Denis isn't in Paris, and apparently Saint Denis isn't one of the nicest neighborhoods in like the outskirts of Paris. And so from what I've heard and from what I've seen before the game, a lot of local fans from Saint Denis started to try to jump fences and gates or whatnot and try to get into the game. And I think what happened is that a couple like people saw some Liverpool fans trying to get in as well, and they would say, "Oh, it's all Liverpool fans' fault. It's all Liverpool fans' fault." But a lot of the videos actually saw non-Liverpool fans jump fences, jump gates, and Liverpool fans with tickets were denied entry. And so police started throwing tear gas and started hitting people or whatnot. So that was a whole mess prior to the game. Apparently,
Liverpool fans. Sorry,
Go on.
Liverpool fans were accused of it only because like it was at the gate that they were entering, where all these, I guess, intruders, I guess, or you call them?
Yeah, local intruders. But yeah, it was Paris or outskirts of Paris. From what I've heard, this is not on the football. From what I've heard, Paris is not one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Very beautiful, obviously. I haven't been there but outside of the Eiffel Tower and all that nonsense, it's a lot of rats. It's very dirty. So maybe Paris is
You kind of describing New York there, man.
Nick,
it's sketchy. I don't know.
Nick shaming Paris right now.
Hey man,
And he's never been there.
I've never been there, but
That's what they say.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of major cities that are very clean. Like, I'm trying to think of one.
Oh, Boston is pretty clean.
Boston is a great example.
Boston is pretty clean.
But back to the game though. So as a Liverpool fan, I kind of expected that first lineup. We Marco and I discussed it on EPL's Boys podcast last Thursday. Prior to the game, I expected the full lineup from Liverpool. And I thought for the first 40 minutes, I thought Liverpool played really well. They pinned Real Madrid back, got into a couple good areas, particularly on the right side with the right half side of Salah, Trent, and Henderson. And I thought they created pretty good chances. Obviously, the Mane one off the post, line-breaking pass from Thiago, the Salah header from a Trent cross that went into Courtois' palms, and the Salah chance very early on where he kind of underhit it and it went to Courtois' left where he kind of dove in. Nice little soft save. So I thought Liverpool played pretty well those first 40 minutes. And then at halftime, I was like, yeah, I think if Liverpool wanted to win this final, they would have had to score in that first half because I think Real Madrid's experience kicked in the second half and not in the first half, which is what they kind of do in all Champions League finals, going all the way back to 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018, where, even 2018, the first half score was 0-0. Madrid kicked up, scored 3 goals, regardless of the keeper. I think 2017 as well against Juve, Ronaldo scored first. Mandzukic scored a crazy over-the-head kick. And then I want to say went 1-1 into the halftime, and then it was blitzed by Casemiro, Ronaldo, Asensio in the 90th minute. So in all these finals, Real Madrid have kicked up in the second half. So I think Liverpool wanted to win that game. They would have had to score those chances in the first half. And like I said, experience with that midfield trio, Casemiro, Kroos, and Modric. I thought Toni Kroos had a phenomenal game, in my opinion. I've been kind of critical of him probably this season, but I think he absolutely shut me up in that final. I thought the way he controlled tempo and got out of tight spaces was absolutely phenomenal. But that was my take on that game. On the first half, let's go to Marco. Madridista, 5 Champions Leagues and a decade and 11 years, basically. 2014 to
5 and 8.
It was 8, right?
5 and 8.
5 and 8.
Yeah.
5 and 8. So, what's your take on this game and overall Real Madrid's success in his Champions League, the Kings?
I mean, we discussed it previously. I was walking into this game a little hesitant, a little scared. Multiple times you would hear me say shit in bricks because I was nervous. I was more nervous, very, very nervous walking into this game. But on Saturday, I kind of started feeling differently. Let's say I got a sign letting me know that everything would be okay, and I did, and it was. First half, as you said, not even first half. You guys dominated basically the whole game, man.
I'd say just first half. The second half, it was kind of like it was
50-50.
Nothing really was going on. Not that many created chances.
I mean, the fact that they created one, which is the biggest argument that everybody has, is they created one, but that's all you need to win a game. Create one chance, one goal, that gives you the result. But yeah, for first, bro, I was scared, but I got the lineup that I asked for. I said I need Militao. I said I need Carvajal. I said the only difference was I said I would take Lucas Vazquez over Carvajal. Carvajal shut me up. Alaba was there. Mendy was there. The mid 3 and the top 3. I had that was literally be my lineup, and yes, you guys had amazing opportunities, but you guys didn't count on Courtois being the beast that he is and saving the goals that he saved. Because you had amazing chances. Salah had a bunch, not a bunch, but he had a good few shots to goal that were saved.
He had
by,
3 very good chances.
Yeah,
2 in
the
the first half, and
dive, the
obviously
one
the
that
second half one.
was close to the post. There was a dive, the one that hit him in the arm, and then one that they went head to head, and he barely topped it out of the goal. And not only him, Jota, I think, believe had got a chance. Luis Diaz had chances. I think Mane had a chance too. So there was plenty of chances. It's just that that's the one thing that nobody thinks of is, will the goalkeeper show up in a big game like that one? And he did, and that was our saving grace. Don't get us wrong. I think we did a decent job moving forward. What helped us, in my opinion, was, even though it was called offside, I believe, that one goal that Benzema got,
Benzema scored. Yeah,
that gave us confidence. That let us know that we can do it. That let us know that your defense isn't impenetrable. That with a little bit of effort and consistency, we can actually score a goal. Yes, that first one was sloppy. It looked like the ball bounced 1,000 places. That's why there was that consistent, not consistent, but it wasn't an argument, more of a trying to understand why it was called outside, because we were all confused on it. Josue, you and I, you talked about it. Eric talked about it. Edgar was there. Nico, I don't know if you were part of the conversation or not, but we were all confused of why offside versus allowing it to be goal. If it was bounced off the player, blah blah blah, it ended up being an offside. But it gave us that little confidence that we're like, okay, this can happen. Coming into second half, we found one small, not weakness, but one small mishap from Alexander-Arnold when he looked over his shoulder. He looked on the left side versus the right side, which he wasn't able to see Vinicius coming behind him, so he didn't really cover his pull. Which allowed Valverde to cross the ball and find Vinicius in the far post just for him to tap it in, or kind of tap it in. That was the one small little thing. Imagine that, looking over your shoulder on the left side versus the right side. I think if he would have looked back on the right side, he would have seen him. But he looked back this. I guess that's when he was in his blind spot. But yeah. Man, it was a phenomenal game. I mean, it was a very entertaining game. I don't think it was. I wouldn't call this the best Champions League game out there, but it was definitely entertaining. It definitely kept on our toes.
Yeah, Dar.
No, Liverpool, they were coming in hot. As soon as the first whistle blew, they were really hot in the beginning of the half. The entire first half, just like Marco said, and they were really scary. And I was kind of getting nervous because Madrid, they were just playing too defensive, or they were trying to play defensive. They looked lost in the game.
Kicking out, and they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, for the majority of the first half, the dynamic trio, Casemiro, Modric, and Cruz, I feel like I was watching Pedri, Gavi, and De Jong, because they looked lost in the midfield. They weren't really connecting. None of the players were really connecting. However, I have to if it was to come to the back line, Carvajal, he was playing really well. I mean, I felt like that was the weaker side of our team, but he actually came up strong, came up big, and he actually played extremely well. But as soon as the second half started, it was a whole different Madrid team. They were playing a little bit better. Their defensive was being better. Liverpool couldn't get past the trio of Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro, and they were creating chances. They were on the attack more, which I enjoyed to watch. And what kind of took me off is that, like, how good of a pass Valverde was, because to be quite honest, his vision to find Vinicius Jr. in the back post, it was phenomenal. However, it went through, I think, 3 or 4 Liverpool players. Van Dijk kind of just tried to lunge his leg back, and I've seen him do better than that defensively, of course. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course, looking over the wrong shoulder. And Robertson, he was kind of out of position, I feel like, because I think he was trying to catch up to Valverde, and that's why Van Dijk was there. But overall, it was a great final. It was such a, not gonna lie, the better team did lose, but Madrid, I mean, they bounced back. You saw it against Man City, you saw it against Chelsea, you saw it against PSG. So the hope and the confidence that I had for Madrid to actually win the title, it was there. But I mean, I think the better team did lose in that match. But Courtois, man, he was phenomenal. I never, besides Tim Howard against Belgium in the 2014 World Cup, never seen a goalie play phenomenally well.
What was Klopp's comment? When your goalkeeper is the man of the match, there's a problem.
He said there's something wrong.
Yeah. There's some truth to it, plus there's some saltiness to it. Yeah, I mean, every goalkeeper deserves to have a man of a match because they put their body to the limit. They do everything they can to be that last defense. And he did exceptionally. I will forever say that. If, like Eric said, I think we mentioned it once, if you ever gave him crap in the past, or if I ever gave him crap in the past, in that one he basically shut us up and say, I can do it, and I can do it with style.
Well, I gave Courtois crap in the past because I had no idea why Real Madrid was buying him when we still had Keylor Navas, who was still, not old, but yet not young. He was still in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
So I was confused by that, but I mean, it paid off. It took a couple years, but it paid off in this final. What I would like to know is, did you get drunk or not at that bar in Bermuda while you were watching the game? Did you celebrate?
I was too stressed to even think about drinking because it was
supposed to calm your nerves.
Stressful to watch. But no, definitely did not. I had quite a bit of alcohol for sure, but no, it was good. But it was a great game to watch. This Liverpool is one of those teams where you have to weather the storm as soon as it starts because they're gonna come at you with everything. So just as soon as the game started, I already knew, the first 15, 20 minutes it was gonna be rough. And as long as Madrid can just hold them back and not concede, then there's a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And those 15, 20 minutes lasted that entire first half. It was insanely stressful to watch. But that Mane chance, as soon as he hit that, I already practically had my head down because there's just no way that was not going in. And then just Courtois is just, as we've all been saying, he just did amazing. At first, I didn't even see that he had a say into that ball hitting the post until the replay came and saw that he actually got a hand on it, which was freaking amazing. But yeah, they weathered the storm. That's pretty much all they could do all game because, I mean, if you look at the end of the match stats, Liverpool had 24 shots. Granted, only 9 of them were on target, but still, to have those many chances to at least try to get the goal is insane compared to Madrid only having 4 shots and only 2 of them being on target.
So sounds like pro clubs.
Real, but like Marco said, I mean, you only need that one chance, and that one chance was all we got pretty much, and that was all we needed, and it was great that it came from Valverde. Very, very prideful too that my fellow Uruguayan was able to have a say in the match result. But it was great. It was a great cross. But yeah, overall, it was a tough game to watch, but it was very scrappy at times. And we took advantage of the one opportunity we got all game, and it worked out.
Yeah, Valverde was everywhere. I was stressing it a lot in build up to the game that he's going to be very key. And apart from the assist, helping Carvajal on the right side, forming a midfield four along with Casemiro, Toni Kroos, and Luka Modric, helping out. Just like he was absolutely everywhere. No, it'll be a very interesting next season whether he'll start playing more in the midfield three, because I think this season we've seen him a lot. Whether it be a 4-4-2 on the right side or on a 4-3-3 on the right side as well. So, we'll see if he's playing in that midfield three more. But also with Courtois, I think his bounce back it's pretty admirable, because when he was bought in 2018, 2019, that was a rough year for him. And also it was rough for Madrid. They got knocked out by Ajax. I'm pretty sure they didn't win the league, and I don't think they won Copa del Rey. Everyone's off. That was Modric Ballon d'Or year in 2018 December. Everyone is off. Question marks over Varane, Ramos, front line. Benzema wasn't as prolific as he is right now. Courtois comes in pretty shaky. Pretty much every shot on target that goes in on him would go through his legs or go through his hands. 2019, 2020, Madrid won the league. He bounced back. He was pretty good. But this year, what really cemented him was he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, if not the best goalkeeper in the world, where he was on that form in 2017, 2018 with Chelsea and with Belgium. So I think that's what I give a lot of credit to a lot of Madrid's coaches, Ancelotti, Zidane, where they instill confidence and really give faith into a player. Another example I want to move on to from Courtois is Vinicius Jr., because 2018, 2019, he also comes in from the club. I forgot which Brazilian club he came in from, but how much was he, Marco? Was he like 30, 40 mil?
Nah, he was pretty up there. So he was like 60. I'll confirm, but I think it was like 60, 70.
So he comes in and obviously
check,
still bags of talent, so raw. But what every single Madrid fan and what every single football follower said, he cannot finish, right? Following year, 2019, 2020, obviously Madrid won the league. Good player. But obviously finishing is still and efficiency is still very blatant flaw with him. Last year, huge improvement of numbers from the season prior from 1920 to 2021. And then this year, when Ancelotti comes in, I think Ancelotti deserves a lot of credit for developing players. Vinicius was good prior to this season. Direct talent, flary on the wing, touchline winger, can drive at players, can create. But this season, he's added a efficiency and a goal threat, which is ridiculous from a player from him.
Oh, my bad. It was 38. My bad.
38 mil. So this season, complete bounce back. Not bounce back, but such a nice development to see. It's such an easy, smooth, and I wouldn't say smooth, not because of like the media, but it's such a smooth, like easy transition development if you look at it within the club and how Vinicius developed. Because I think what I find from Vinicius is absolutely beautiful, because a lot of people tend to say now that, Brazilian wingers, for example, they don't get the freedom to play like they did. They don't get the freedom to play as much as they did maybe back then in 2000s as they do now. And I think with Ancelotti, right, exactly. I think with Ancelotti, a lot of people kind of, associate him with, rigid, not rigid, but, plan A, and this is how I want it. No, he gave freedom to Vinicius, and he let Vinicius do what he wants, and he let Vinicius form a duo with Benzema. So, I think I was doing this script. I think it's 42 or 44. I think it's 42 goals and assists in our competitions for Real Madrid. If you told a Real Madrid fan that Vinicius would get 42 goals and assists combined in 2020, 2022, 2021, 2022, when he first signed in 18-19, they would think you're lying. So that transition from Vinicius to becoming raw talent to the best left winger in the world, probably behind Mbappe, is absolutely incredible. So, yeah, on Vinicius as well, like crazy development. And the build-up to Madrid's goal, Vinny's goal, I think Fellaini passed it to David Alaba. I think he split the two Liverpool attackers. I know one of them was Mane. I don't remember the other one. I think he passed it to Modric. And then Modric receives the ball. I think he's facing towards his own touchline where the coaches are. And he takes a couple touches towards his own goal. And then he turns around and he splits Fabinho and Thiago, I think. I think it's Fabinho and Thiago, and he lays it off to Valverde, who runs 35 yards up the right flank. Modric, my word. Talk about just composure and technical prowess to do that in the Champions League final, where you take a couple touches, you turn around and you split two defenders to lay it all to Valverde. That completely took Liverpool out the game, right? Because now he drew in two players, and then like Gat said, Robertson is I didn't even know Robertson was on that goal.
He was,
and then on that,
Valverde.
yeah, and then on the actual goal with Van Dijk, there's been a couple of times where he's been kind of lacking of like engagement this season. It could be post ACL. Van Dijk has not always been the most aggressive center back. He's always been kind of laid back, let the game come to him, defending large spaces, and kind of rely on his physical ability. But I think on where right here, I think he was trying to cover the overlap with Carvajal, which I think he read wrong because Carvajal was like way far behind Valverde. So I think with Van Dijk, he should have just pushed up and been aggressive to Valverde. It probably would have stopped the. I don't know. I think Valverde after the game, I'm pretty sure it was a shot, not a cross or pass. So, but yeah, that's the.
It worked no matter what it was.
For real.
Very true. But yeah, as a Liverpool fan, I thought we played it pretty well. Even after Madrid scored, obviously the solid chance. Got into good areas, and I thought Madrid's box defending their actual penalty box was crazy. Like Militao, like that trio, that triangle of Militao, Alaba, and Casemiro was like crazy, especially Casemiro. Like any ball that would get in from the byline and to be a cutback outside the top of the box, which is be cut off from Casemiro or Militao, which those two players are great defenders inside their own box. So, like Gad said, it was all about weathering the storm for Madrid. I think definitely once that first happened, like I said in the previous finals, that's where Madrid really come into their own. Regardless of players who this was their first final, like Vinicius, like Militao, like Alaba from Madrid. Obviously, he's been to two other Champions League finals with Bayern. Who else? Ferland Mendy first Champions League final. Courtois first Champions League final with Madrid, with Real Madrid. Who else? Obviously, Vini's and Valverde's. Despite this being a Champions League final, like it's the Real Madrid culture and the standards that brings in. So when these players already get to the final, you have the famous trio of Casemiro, Modric, and Toni Kroos right behind you with Valverde and Vini. So these players already know, all right, second half, I've seen what this trio behind me can do in second half of the Champions League finals. So I'm just going to come into my own. And those two players, Valverde and Vinicius, came into their own, combining for a goal. So yeah, obviously credit to Madrid, and that Thibaut Courtois performance was absolutely crazy. It probably is the greatest Champions League final performance from a goalkeeper in a final. You can maybe argue Petr Cech against Bayern Munich in 2012, saved Robben's penalty and the penalty shootout, and I think he saved Robben's penalty again in normal time. I think Drogba fouled him, and obviously Petr Cech was crazy, but Thibaut Courtois, like wow. Wow, what is he, like 6'6"? I searched up the other day. His wingspan is 6'10".
Jeez.
That's a fucking basketball player. That's an NBA player.
Actually,
hold on.
Yeah.
My bad. On his wingspan. Hold on.
Marco's blinking.
Someone's calling me. And then hold and accept. And accept. What the fuck does that mean? When you're getting a call, end and accept?
Oh, you end one to accept the other.
So you might be.
Oh, okay. Let's just let that. Come on. Getting
Go.
calls, like, come on.
Do not disturb, please.
Text only.
That was my brother. The Salah, I think second half, Salah had a shot from outside the box where he tried to curl it. And then, like Courtois, like when the ball was coming to him, he fully extended his right arm and punched it. Like it just like it looked so comfortable for him. I think in the first half, Salah had a good shot outside the box where Courtois Cassie jumped up. It just looked so comfortable with him. Like, geez, the guy is 6'6". That is crazy. But that's the Champions League final. Liverpool only end up with the domestic double of a Carabao Cup. I wouldn't say domestic double, domestic cup double, Carabao Cup and FA Cup final, FA Cup trophy. There's been a couple of things. Liverpool have scored 0 goals in 3 finals. I wouldn't say that comes down to creating chances. I think that definitely comes down to putting the ball in the back of the net, as simple as it sounds. I think in the Carabao Cup final, I think Chelsea were the better team. In the FA Cup final, Liverpool were the better team. Diaz had a 1-on-1. Everyone else had a couple good chances. Obviously, Champions League final, they had a couple good chances. So I would have, if I was a rival fan, I definitely wouldn't put into much the 0 goals in 3 finals, penalty shootouts, because Liverpool created chances in 2 out of those 3 finals. So, yeah, it would be. We'll see whether Liverpool go into the market and sign a striker to deal with those problems. Because at the end of the day, it kind of is like I said, rival fans don't look into it too much as in terms of like trolling and like bantering or whatnot. But if you look into it, it could be an issue because Liverpool haven't had a very good final performance since maybe Klopp has come in. There's been a couple good ones, but I wouldn't say like some outstanding performance where you win like 2-0, 3-0, and it's comfortable. Like this season, went to penalty shootout, 0 goals or whatever in 3 finals, whatever, right? Last season, they didn't get to any. Community Shields, 1920, they didn't get to any apart from a Community Shield, which they lost to Man City. To Arsenal on PK shootouts. The season prior, 1920, 18-19, Champions League final against Tottenham. I think that first minute penalty kind of changed everything. It wasn't a terrible performance from Liverpool, but it was kind of, But at the end of the day, finals, as long as you win, right? So, but if you go back, 18-19, 2017, 2018 against Madrid, they lose 3-1. So it was a good performance up until Salah got taken off. Apart from that, everyone kind of knew who was going to win, even when Mane scored. And then 2016, 2017, I don't think they made one. 2015, 2016, Klopp's first season, Carabao Cup, they lose to Man City on PK shootouts, I believe. And then they lost the Europa League final 3-1 to Sevilla. So out of all those, how many finals, I wouldn't say there's like one good solid performance where, you walk away with the trophy and at the end of the day. So it maybe is an issue with Liverpool performing in cup finals, but that's a Champions League final. Now, let me ask Marco this. This is Madrid's 14th title.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, 8. I was going to say 8 in 5 years. That's good. 5 in 8 years. As a non-Madrid fan, the whole recruitment and development for Madrid from like 2010 and onwards has been incredible. So let me ask you this: is this like, were you surprised that Madrid won this final? Not because of the whole buildup, but were you surprised? Like, all right, so season first starts. I don't remember the first Champions League game. I don't know if we're against Sheriff or Shakhtar or Inter. Oh. But did you like expect Madrid to go deep into this competition?
No, not at all. And I think I said it at the beginning of the season too. In La Liga, yes, I can see them progressing, being top 4 because that's what we usually are. Even on our bad year, which is the year that Ronaldo left, I was very critical about Real Madrid, but we still ended up, I think, 3rd place that year. This year, walking in, I feel a little more confident in La Liga. Champions League is a completely different story. I mean, even though it is, as we all know, our competition, I personally wasn't walking in confidently. I knew what kind of team we had, and even though we had the same players that have won previously, there was just an attack issue. Of course, Vinicius has been doing well, so has Benzema, but there's always that youth, that inexperience that you always have to put in consideration. So me walking in, I knew we would walk out of the group stages. Just after that, I personally never thought we were gonna make it to the finals or even win it.
Real Madrid had the toughest route to get to the final.
Exactly.
It was probably one of the toughest.
After they redid the whole because I think we got Lyon first, and then they did it because of the Man United problem.
I forgot about that.
We got.
No, you got Benfica first. We got
Benfica first, and then we got fucked over because of United.
We got PSG.
We got PSG, which is the League One champion. Then we got Chelsea, which is at the moment current Champions League winners. Then we have Man City, which is now the league winners, the EPL winners, and Liverpool, which was the runner-ups. So we went through the best, quote unquote, 4 teams in the world to be able to walk away with that trophy. And do we deserve it? Hell yeah, because we went through all that. But if you really look at it, it's just what we call the Real Madrid DNA, which is never put your hands down don't stop fighting until the last minute, and it kind of shows this year more than ever about that DNA and that never put your hands down. We've seen glimpses of it in the past. We saw it in the Minuto 93. We've seen it when we went to penalties with Atletico in that second round. That second time we went head to head for the Champions League. So we've seen it multiple times. It's just that we never saw it as prominent as main stage as it was this season. This season, you really saw that to Real Madrid be having that Real Madrid DNA, that never put your hands down philosophy, really kicked in and really was taken advantage of. But no, like, as your question, no, I was not confident walking in, and I didn't expect us to win it either.
Yeah, you brought up the Madrid DNA thing or whatever. It's crazy because the 4 Champions League finals prior to Madrid winning this one, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018, Madrid were probably top 2, top 3 favorites for all those Champions League runs. In 2014, you can probably say it's obviously it's always part of 2014 was probably Madrid, Barca, and Bayern. Right? 2016, probably again Madrid, Barca, Bayern, probably Juventus. 2017, I'd probably say Real Madrid, Barca, and Juventus. 2018, I'd probably say Real Madrid, Juventus, and Bayern. Barca kind of got phased out because that wasn't anywhere near what MSN was in 2018. All those Champions League runs, they're arguably favorites for the trophy. This year they weren't favorites, so I agree with the Madrid DNA. But like you said, this season you kind of just saw it because prior to the season, I probably wouldn't say, oh, it's Madrid DNA. It's Madrid DNA. But this season I was like, yeah, it's fucking Madrid DNA because prior to this Champions League campaign, like I said, all those runs haven't been like back to the wall like this one is. And had people didn't really say, oh, Madrid winning in 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018 was Madrid DNA, right? This is Madrid DNA, this Champions League run. So, and I brought up the recruitment thing because it's like crazy how I think with how well Madrid have recruited since 2010 and onwards has been very underrated and have not been looked at that crazy.
And we haven't really recruited either.
No, but I was saying like that first recruitment from like 2011 to 2014, bringing in like Modric and Toni Kroos and Casemiro coming in from Porto, I believe. Luka Modric coming in from Tottenham.
Well, we already had Casemiro. Porto was a loan.
Oh, Porto was a loan? Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I think they were loaned, but they sold him, but they bought him back, something like that. He was only out 1 year. We already had him. And
then the one really statement signing in the midfield was Toni Kroos from Bayern, who was fresh off winning the Champions League.
2014.
Yep. Also bringing in Benzema from Lyon.
That was
2009 or 2000. Was it 2011?
9/11. Can't remember exactly what year it was.
Same time as CR7.
It was the same year, right? So was it 9?
Yeah,
09?
They bought like 6 players that year.
Yeah. So it's 09, yeah. And then Bale came in 11, 12, I think, or 12, 13. Can't remember exactly. I just looked it up and I can't fucking remember.
Yeah, Angel Di Maria from Benfica. So Mesut Ozil, I forgot where he came from before.
It was Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen?
Or Schalke.
So the Madrid's whole recruitment in that early 2010s, and then they started picking up the recruitment because in 2019, what they signed Eden Hazard, Luka Jovic, Rodrigo, and then Militao, which obviously worked out. But like for that early 2000s, and then now where they started really recruiting, developing players, has been like absolutely phenomenal, very underrated. Very, very underrated how they've been able to recruit for not like humongous prices, apart from like Eden Hazard and very recently. But you can also say inflation has caused a lot. On Eden Hazard, Mark, have you seen like what he said?
He said, which I already knew that he was gonna stay. Sadly, he said, apologize for these past 2 years, something along the lines of apologize for the past 2 years, but I'm ready for this next upcoming season. I'll give my all. Kind of.
Apparently, he's injury free or some shit.
I don't know. I hope so, man. He didn't do shit all season, so he better be 110%. Yeah. He better be, because if not, then he will definitely be a fucking flop, and he should just definitely be. In my eyes, should have been sent out this season, but If by January by winter transfer, if he had done shit, I'd say kick him out.
Yeah, Eden Hazard in his prime was absolutely phenomenal. Arguably one of the most talented players of all time.
He should be
Literally.
technically in his prime now, but the one thing I did want to mention about this league, and you've been saying, uh, recruitment and all that stuff. I think one of the reasons why the 14th is so special for a lot of Madridistas, and well, in my eyes, the first thing I told Eric the minute we found out that we have won, the game ended, was they can't say that we can't do it without Ronaldo, because that was a lot of what was said in the past. Is if without Ronaldo this can't be done. Without Ronaldo you wouldn't be here where you're at. Without Ronaldo this would, which technically that is correct. Yes, Ronaldo was and is a phenomenal and a legend to Real Madrid. But we needed to find a place post Ronaldo, and we found it, and we were able to win. And I think for a lot of the players that means a lot, because that means that even though we don't have the world's best player in our starting 11, which everybody is calling for Benzema to be that. The winner of Ballon d'Or this upcoming season. Let's see what happens. Without us having the best 11, having the best goalkeeper, the best defender, the best blah blah blah, we were able to win it. So for me, I think that's why it's a little bit more special, number 14, because it shuts a lot of people up.
Look, let me ask you this: rate Real Madrid's 4 Champions Leagues, or fucking no, wait.
5.
3.
5.
Wait, it's fucking 5. All right, rate Real Madrid's 5. So 2014 against Atletico, 90 Ramos.
I had to give
2016.
I had to give 14 number 1. It's because we hadn't win shit in a long time.
And
with La Decima, it was like that's basically what kicked us off. In my opinion, I would do that one, then this, and then I'll do the straight 3. Because it's not easy to go against Atletico Madrid for a second time and go to the penalties. It's not easy to go to fuck against Juve, which it was a big favorites and they, it was one of Buffon's last opportunities to win a Champions League, which is the only trophy that he doesn't have. And then go against Liverpool, which to everybody's eyes we stole it because we fouled Salah and Karius went crazy that day. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I would definitely do 10 now and then the 3 straight.
That 2018 Champions League campaign was also tough as well. I think you guys had PSG in the first round as well. I remember that game vividly. Rabiot scored, then Madrid, and then Ronaldo scored off his knee, right, in the first round.
Yeah,
and then you guys had Juve the second round. The first leg was in Turin. Ronaldo, Chilena. But Juve almost come back in the second leg.
The last one that you mentioned right now?
Yeah, 2018, 2017,
so
2018.
That year, so every year, without a lie, if you go back and look at our games running up to the final, we have very hard games. That year specifically, we beat every league champion that season.
You faced Bayern in the semifinals.
We faced Bayern, we faced Juve, we faced PSG, and we beat Liverpool, which is the year that they won.
No, that was the year after. Well,
we also went against Man City. Sorry, so we went Man City, Bayern
in 2016.
Yeah, something like that. But that year we won. We beat every single champion of their league. So I mean, Real Madrid hasn't had it easy at all in any of the seasons that they've come up. There's a lot of other teams that have made it to semifinals and finals. Real Madrid has it, but when they make it, it's because they're gonna win it.
And off the back of this Champions League win, honestly, I could see Madrid contending for next season as well.
Yeah.
I can.
I mean, we're getting rid of, and I think that's what we're going. That's towards the conversation that we're going in a little bit. Is we're starting to get rid of, or not get rid of, say goodbye.
Yeah, let's go into that.
It's kind of rude to say get rid of. We're starting to say goodbye to players like Isco, like Bale, like Marcelo. Marcelo hasn't, even though he confirmed it to the world already, they haven't made it official. They haven't done the official announcement with Real Madrid. I'm guessing they're going to do like a ceremony for him. but we're starting to get rid of the players that or the contract expired. They have no more room in the team, and they just need to start opening slots to bring in new and fresh blood. Which is a good thing. So depending on who we pick up, which I think I've seen a couple of rumors here and there about
Yeah.
a right wing and a midfielder. Rudiger apparently is already confirmed. He's already done medical and all this stuff. So yeah, we're definitely lining up or be prepared for a good season this season.
Let's go into the outgoings. Isco Alqueron leaving Real Madrid. Let's go with Gat. Isco Alqueron leaving Real Madrid. What were your did you rate Isco that highly at Real Madrid?
Not too highly. Not too highly. I mean, he did the job when he was needed. I actually forgot all about him towards the end, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Just
think
because
everyone did.
just I mean, when his name came up that he was leaving, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot he was there because this whole season we've been so focused on that same midfield three. But I mean, yeah, he did the job.
Yeah. Dyer, Gareth Bale, Tottenham. Oh, Madrid who have what? Gareth Bale and Luka Modric from Tottenham. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Tottenham, right? But Gareth Bale leaving Real Madrid.
Tottenham always helping out other teams. Good shit, Tottenham.
Yep. Hey, it's
Very-
my two favorite
very,
teams, so I'm okay with that.
Very sticky situation, I think most would say. I think all would say with Gareth Bale's time at Real Madrid. Concerns over his injuries, concerns off the pitch with Wales and all the other nonsense. Nah, I need your take on Gareth Bale's time at Real Madrid.
You know, he had a great time at Real Madrid. His 9-year spell over there. It was just unfortunate.
In 9 years?
He was there for 9 years.
Holy.
Yeah, I think he was signed in 2013.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, anyways, I feel like the first maybe 5, almost 6 years, he was being loved by the fans. He was being loved by the world, the Madrid team. And then I think after, I feel like towards Zidane's last tenure, the third Champions League title that they won in a row, that's when his relationship with the community of Madrid started falling off. Despite that he scored those 2 goals in the Champions League final to win it 3 in a row. Yeah, that was to make it 3 in a row, right? He was still not like fully loved by the Madrid fans because you know how they say Wales, golf, then Madrid, and all that kind of shit. So he came out big for every final that Madrid had, starting off with against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final. I think in his first year or second year at Madrid, where he had that long run and pass Batra, who tried to put him out of bounds and all that kind of stuff. And Cristiano didn't even play that game, and we happened to win and we won the Copa del Rey because of that goal. I feel like he had a great time at Madrid. It's just really unfortunate that the fans just gave him so much crap. Because to be quite honest, I don't know why. I love the guy. Call me biased all you want because yes, he came from Spurs. He plays on both. He played on my favorite team in England. Plays on my favorite team in Spain. But I don't care. I mean, like I feel like he had a great career at Madrid. Scoring multiple Champions League finals, helping Madrid out, scoring some bangers, whether it's open play or free kicks. I will rate maybe like a 8.5 out of 10 of his career at Madrid. It would be a 10 out of 10 if he was just fully loved. That's it.
Marco, what's your take on Garibel?
Honestly, I'm gonna leave it to what Isco said in his goodbye post. I'll just have the nice memories. I agree with most of what Josue said. You started.
Hold on. My bad. is Gareth Bale a Madrid legend?
Yeah,
I say so.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Like Eric said, because I've always brought up Ronaldinho, for example. Is he a legend? Period was very little because of his partying and all that stuff. But do we consider him a legend? Yes, because he did phenomenal things for not only Barcelona but for football in general, and still does. Um, I'm not putting Bale at his category, but in the whole spectrum of things, is he or should he be considered a legend for Real Madrid? And the answer is yes. I don't think the past 2.5 years should cloud what he did for the triple, and for he did for us to get that decima, and to win the Liga, and to win the Copa del Rey and stuff like that. So as much as I have been frustrated with him, as much as I think that he should have won to take on the torch once Ronaldo left, which he did not. I think that's what caused us to start giving him more shit. But at the end of the day, man, to me, in my eyes at least, he is a Real Madrid legend. He deserves the status of legend because of his accomplishments, because of what he did for the team, because of without the goals that he scored, we wouldn't have the titles that we have now. And that one of the things that I was seeing the goodbye video for Bale. Who can't forget about that run against Baltra in the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona, when he passes the ball and runs around him and still goes in this court. Like, well, stuff like that you just can't forget. So yeah, is he a legend? Yes.
Yeah, Real legend, Real Madrid legend, guys. You've heard it here first. Now, before we end this podcast, I want to ask you guys this. So, what did Casemiro join?
Casemiro had, I think he was 12. Fuck, let me go back, because he's been a while. He was only out for 1 year and then came back. But I'll double check.
Did he start 2014? Or was he not there yet?
He was there already. Yeah, he has 5 trophies.
He has 5 trophies. He started because Xabi Alonso couldn't start. Xabi Alonso was suspended, and
I figured
Gat lost his connection because we do have a thunderstorm out there, so his internet in where he lives is shit.
Yeah.
But I believe Casemiro did start in that first Champions League against Atletico Madrid, alongside with Modric and
I think it was Sami Khedira.
Khedira. Yes, it was Khedira. Gas said power went out for a second. He's trying to reconnect. So he has 5 Champions League. The only one that doesn't have 5 of those trio is Cruz. He only has 4 with Madrid.
With Madrid.
Yes.
But doesn't he have one with Bayern?
Yeah. So he has
that's why he has the 5. Okay.
That's why he has 5.
Yeah. But my question was going to be Casemiro, Modric, Toni Kroos, Brazil, Croatia, Germany. Is this trio better than Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, Spain?
Josué, do you want to give it, and then I'll give mine?
So, I feel like that trio of Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets, phenomenal trio. They played extremely well. They were able to get the treble under Pep Guardiola. They were able to dominate La Liga together. But the amount of, I would say, trophies is there, yes, but they also had, Messi and Dani Alves to help out as well. But when it comes, I would say this: 10 out of 10, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. 10 out of 10. Xavi, I would say, is probably one of the best midfielders of all time, as well as Iniesta. But when it comes to their connection, their what's it called? Their playing style, defense work, reading the play, everything, I would have to give it to Modric, Cruz, and Casemiro. Winning 5 Champions League within 8 years is phenomenal. Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets, they didn't have that. Yes, they won so many La Liga titles, and it pissed me off because I'm not a Barcelona fan. I'm a Madrid fan. But I would have to give it to the Croatian, the German, and the Brazilian over the trio of Spain. Just because all three of them are box to box players. I feel like between Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta, Busquets was more of a defensive player. Xavi was more of the middle. He's the box to box. Iniesta was more on attacking, but he will get back. Um, I'll respect to those three, Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets, but I'll have to stick with my guns and say that Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro are the best trio that I've seen of all time. Hands down. That's all I gotta say. And people could throw tomatoes at me and whatever. I don't give a shit. It's not gonna change my mind.
Marco.
That's funny because you're pretty on the spot there. So there's a difference between Casemiro, Kroos, and Modric and Busquets, Iniesta, and Xavi. The difference is these. Nice to have you back. Man can barely.
it's really coming down out here. And there's a lot of fun.
This is about to end. Let's hope. The difference is these three, the Barcelona three, have been playing since they were kids together. If I'm not mistaken, they all come from the Peña or whatever they call their
And Macia.
La Masia. There you go. They all come from there, so they've been playing for years and years, even before they made it to senior level. So you have to bring that in consideration. And just like Josue said, what they have won is and they, me, Iniesta, and Xavi with Messi are a trio that I fear the most, or I feared at the time the most. But removing Messi and Busquets and then adding Busquets, it's still a scary. It's a very, very, very scary midfield. But what they won was domestic stuff. That's the one thing that Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro could take away from them is that they walked away with more European trophies and not only that, they also have their own leagues titles, their own Copas del Rey, and everything. I think in between, every single one of them has 19 trophies, or something like that. So just that right there alone is to me crazy, and they should be considered, if not the best, at least up there in trios in midfield.
It's definitely top three.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you hear the question? My question?
No, but I can kind of guess as to what the question is based on Marco's reply.
Yeah. So the formal question is: this trio of Casemiro, Modric, Kroos better than Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets?
I think it is for the same reasons that Marco just said. I mean, if you're looking at it just based on the amount of trophies they've won, they definitely have the European stage over that other trio. And then individual performance, I mean, Modric just turned 37, I think, not long ago. And the way that he has been playing and still is playing at that age in that midfield is just amazing to see. And then together, the three of them, they just have that chemistry. They just know what's going on between the three of them at all times, and it's just they're definitely up there.
Yeah, so I was doing some research. So Xavi, Busquets, and Iniesta, I think Busquets was one of the Guardiola's first signings, but Xavi, Busquets, and Iniesta only started 2 Champions League finals. 2009 against Man United in Rome, 2-0, and 2011 against Man United at Wembley, 3-1. They didn't start 2015 because that was when Rakitic started to get integrated and Xavi was kind of getting phased out. And 2006, only Xavi started, I believe.
Yeah, Iniesta was a sub.
I think, yeah. So they only started
Busquets wasn't there yet.
Yeah, Busquets wasn't there yet. Casemiro, Modric, and Kroos started 4, 2014. I mean, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2022. But for me, I think I'd give it to Xavi, Busquets, and Iniesta. And the reason why is because
Where's the disconnect button?
the football that they played, man.
It's different.
The football that they played was like, my word. I don't think we've seen anything like it. And Dyer also said you obviously have Messi, the greatest playmaker of all time, linking up with them in the final third. Obviously, Dani Alves and Pep Guardiola as a manager. But if you just look at it as that trio, as that midfield three, the football that they played between each other was like flawless. There wasn't a flaw to it. There wasn't a flaw to it. It's just utter domination against every single team. Every single team. But either way, if you say Casemiro, Modric, and Cruz is fine. But for me, the football that Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets played was effortless for me. But
I actually have a question. We'll start with you, Nick. If you were to make your own trio between these 6 players, what 3 would you pick out of these 6?
I'd go Busquets over Casemiro at DM. I think Busquets is the greatest defensive midfielder of all time. I'd go Xavi over Toni Kroos because they're kind of more similar, like you said. And then Modric or Iniesta. Now, if we're going obviously longevity, it's Luka Modric. Luka Modric won a Champions League at 37. Was it 36, 37? Iniesta got relegated in Japan.
They're fighting for relegation in Japan.
Oh, they're fighting for relegation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're bottom.
But at the peak of their powers, in their prime, I can't even lie. I think I'd go Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta. Combined, all 3.
Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta.
What would be yours?
Me, I'll pick Casemiro over Busquets. I'll pick Modric over Iniesta and Xavi over Cruz. That'd be my 3. As much as I hate Xavi's comments about how like towards Cristiano Ronaldo in Madrid, I respect his playing style. It was just phenomenal. To be quite honest, when I started playing midfield, I kind of wanted to adapt of how he played in the midfield, but now I don't. Now I just want to adapt to Modric.
So before we wrap up this podcast, like let's go all around. Marco, what would be your combined midfield 3 of all of those?
I think I agree with Josue. I picked that Casemiro, Modric, and Xavi. As much as I love Kroos, I think Xavi it's completely different. But I do have one question for you, Nick, but we'll leave it till the end. Kat, what's your answer?
Yeah, I think I'll actually pick Busquets over Casemiro, but the other 2, Xavi and Modric.
Xavi and Modric. Damn, nobody picked Iniesta except Nick. Nick picked the Barcelona trip. Nick, you're still salty about the loss. We get it, okay? All right.
It's just the football that they played, dude. It was like
No,
don't get me wrong. Their football that
they
they played, yeah. I will tell you this: if those 3 were to go against each other, like on a small quarter field, like first team to 5, hands down, I think Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets will win because I feel like they are more skillful than the Madrid 3. The only skillful player there, I feel like, is Modric. But I mean, dude. 5 Champions Leagues, La Liga titles, Copa del Rey. It's history, man. I'll remember this for the rest of my life.
I understand that, but when Xavi and Iniesta, Busquets played together, they utterly dominated the league. Apart from when Jose Mourinho won the league in 2012 with 100 points.
That's just
like
it.
every single game against El Clasico was like that trio.
I understand that, but like Casemiro, Modric, Cruz, they dominated. They dominated sometimes in La Liga, not all the times, of course, the Champions League for almost 8 years. I mean, they had their fallout like a couple of years ago, when they were trying to come up with their managers and all that. But Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets, I feel like they were only together for like 4 or 5 years together. That's it.
Yeah, I'd say 5 to 6. 5 to 6.
Yeah, and they played in Spain together, but Busquets didn't start with Spain. It was Xabi Alonso. And where is he from? Madrid. So Madrid, Ala Madrid. Sorry. I'm too.
That's fair. The only one I would debate though I think I would absolutely debate is Modric Iniesta. That's the one I would debate.
That's a really hard one.
That's the one I'd debate.
But Modric.
If you go Modric, that's fine. But
he won a
I think Busquets and Xavi is a lock for me.
Modric won a Ballon d'Or.
We want to use Ballon d'Ors to measure now.
Nah. Iniesta honestly deserved a Ballon d'Or. Messi just snatched it away from him. Marco, where'd you go?
I'm right here.
Marco, I believe you had a question
on the screen.
Yes, I had a question. Well, not a question. It's more of a thank you to you, Nick, for bringing in the law of averages into the last recording. You were right. Bale winning it in Wales, Ronaldo winning it in Lisboa, and Benzema winning it in France, Paris specifically. It was a full circle, so I do have to thank you for that, man.
The law of averages thing, it worked out. Just Courtois had something to say about it. That's it. Tough luck.
Was in your law of averages in Belgium randomly doing phenomenal stuff at some point?
Huh?
In your law of averages, the years that you were putting in the numbers and shit like that, was there a Belgium player that was doing phenomenal stuff in those same years? Because
same years
as the law of averages, whatever you were using to say this was the year for Liverpool because this and this and this and this.
Oh no! So one of them was every year that Real Betis won the Copa del Rey, Liverpool won the Champions League. The other one was every time Liverpool have been the home team in the final, they've won.
Okay.
And well, actually, I was listening to the podcast last Friday. I don't know. I'm sure you guys may have seen a stat prior to the actual final. Now it is 17 Spanish teams have played in finals against foreign opposition that have won all 17, including Europa League and Champions League. So I listened to that podcast last Friday. I was like, damn, there's like kind of things to both sides. And then prior to the game, I saw his tweet and it was like, it was a Liverpool fan. He was like, I just can't picture a scenario where Madrid have silver medals. I was like, damn, it's kind of right as well. But either way,
Hey, sometimes you just have a sign, a divine sign that lets you know that it will all be okay.
Are you guys very superstitious like I am?
No, at all.
No?
No, but
certain things.
No. I mean, sometimes you just feel like there's something that just lets you know that things will be okay, and sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. And at least in this case, I did. So I was like, okay, we'll win this one.
Fairs. But with that being said, everyone, it has been a lovely podcast talking about Real Madrid.
Great season.
Cubs. Yeah, was that double?
It's a double.
Well, yeah, double for us, but I'm not saying just for Real Madrid. I'm saying just in general, a great season. This is basically the end of the season.
Yeah.
From here on out, it's internationals, friendlies. It's gonna be the controversies of purchase and selling and players rumors and all the other bullshit that comes along the summertime. So the market is open. The market is open. So let's see who ends up where and what teams are more benefited and who gets more money and will Newcastle go crazy this winter? Sorry, this transfer window.
Damn. Bro, you're already 6 months ahead.
I'm already thinking about 6 months from now.
He's already thinking about the World Cup.
They've already signed a striker.
Oh, have they?
Who's that?
Yeah, from Ligue 1. I think his name is Hugo Etitike. I think he plays for Lens. Like 45 mil. I don't know much about him, but they've already bought a striker, so.
Well, Lens did actually have a decent season.
Newcastle looking for that fourth position. Looking for the top four.
Well, we'll see. Much to discuss about that.
Yep.
Later on.
I also just wanted to say Ukraine beat Scotland today, 3-1, to move on in the next playoff against Wales. That's this weekend,
which is
I believe,
on Sunday.
and whoever wins that game will go to the World Cup in the same group as
I'm
England,
torn.
USA, and Iran.
I'm torn with that game. Like you kind of want Ukraine to win just because of the narrative and what's going on, and you want to see the team persevere and kind of bring that nation together. But then you also have Wales, and everybody loves Wales too. So that's gonna be a tough game to
I think
win.
I might go for Wales.
I would love to see Gareth Bale in the World Cup, and see how Wales perform.
Joe, he doesn't deserve it. Ukraine all the way. Andrew, I'm with you, bro.
We'll see. I mean, I believe this June, all of June, is we're waiting on them, Wales, Ukraine, waiting on that other playoff spot, and one more between Costa Rica, New Zealand. Peru is waiting on Australia and the United Arab Emirates. So,
does everyone have Spanish-speaking countries going to the World Cup? Costa Rica and Peru, or no?
Say that again? Oh, I see Costa Rica being New Zealand.
Yeah, me too.
You don't see Peru winning against Australia? Probably Australia, most likely.
Nah, I think those Socceroos are gonna. I think they're gonna beat them.
I can't wait for the fucking World Cup, bro. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. I know all this controversy around like workers and I get it. But I think
I'm excited for. I know. Go ahead.
Even the people who are like advocating for change, and which I completely agree with. But once that World Cup comes around, I think that'll go all out the window. The World Cup is special.
True.
It is sad, but it's true. Like the World Cup is special. Yeah. But
yep.
That wraps up this podcast.
It's an end of one season and the beginning of another one.
I'm excited for tomorrow. Quick shout out to Diego. Tomorrow is phase 1 of Operation Mexico will not get out of the group stage, because Uruguay is going to smack them tomorrow, and I can't wait for them.
Where's the game?
It's I think it's in Arizona. So essentially, essentially Mexico's home. So
pretty much.
That's gonna be hot. Why Arizona? Go to Minnesota.
I mean, I could tell you why, but I don't want to come off.
But
damn.
we still have a lot of time about international football. So next week, the week after that, but guys, it's been a really good season. I've really enjoyed talking with you guys. The season is not over. It's not over. It's just the season never ends. It keeps continuing, even through the summer. But everyone, it's been a pleasure podcasting with you guys. It really has been. So,
yep.
That's it. The Benchwarmers is out. The Benchwarmers is out for a season, and God willing, we may continue next season.
Yeah.
So
to 2022-23.
Yes. Goodbye, everyone.
All right. The next one.
Son got robbed.
Yes, he did.
Son
got robbed.
Nico, you got to close it out the usual way, then.
So,
the
bench for the boys, where the bench is always warm.
Yeah, there you go.
Peace.
Marco got it.
Good night.